Hello and welcome to Rate That Character, an ongoing series by Source Gaming where we look at certain characters and rate their chances of becoming playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo Switch.
By the way, these are completely my opinions and my opinions alone, and I don't share these opinions with Sakurai, Nintendo, or even all of Source Gaming.
I'm Colin Dram, and let's see who we're rating today.
Keep that one. Mark it fab.
Paul McCartney is one of the lead singer-songwriters and the bassist of the band The Beatles. Originally, the Beatles were known as the Quarrymen, but after a trip to Hamburg, Germany and changing around a couple members, they chose the name that we're all familiar with today. Paul is known as the Cute Beatle and is behind some of the band's greatest hits, including Yesterday, Hey Jude, and Get Back. He's also known for being the driving force behind what some consider to be one of the best albums of all time, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. As for his contributions to video games, perhaps his most well-known work is being involved in Harmonix's rock band spin-off, The Beatles Rock Band, though he has had music featured in mainline titles and even a few Guitar Hero games. He wrote an original song for the game Destiny, as well as helping compose the game's ill-fated opera companion piece. And perhaps the most obscure project of his, an 8-bit home computer adaptation of his terrible, terrible movie Give My Regards to Broad Street. I know what you must be thinking. Colin, this isn't Goku! I don't even know what a beetle is! But you'd be surprised at just how much sense it makes to make Mecha a playable fighter. I mean, the Beatles and Nintendo have plenty of history. Look at EarthBound. When the game starts, you're asked to input names for the main characters, and the game even gives you suggestions of names to use, including those of the members of the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Ringo. A default suggestion for favorite food is honey pie, a reference to one of Paul's songs off of the White Album. There's a yellow submarine in the game. Paul's Yesterday is directly referenced in a trivia question asked to the player, and perhaps most famously, the game uses samples of Beatles songs within its music. In The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker, there's a shopkeep with a Beatles-esque haircut named Beetle. And of course, the Beatles Rock Band itself was released on the Wii, with Paul's well-known Hofner bass guitar included in the premium bundle box as the default controller. And while Sakurai himself has never spoken about the Beatles, I mean, look at his hair. Come on, that man has to have a copy of Rubber Soul lying around somewhere. As for the last completely perfect, undeniable piece of evidence, what does Paul sing at the beginning of Sgt. Pepper? And how long ago did the first Super Smash Bros. Release? I rest my case. None. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want Paul McCartney in Smash. I guess unless you like one of the other Beatles more. But Paul wrote Temporary Secretary, so I mean he wins out by default. It's not even a competition. After looking at the evidence, it is completely undeniable that it makes perfect 100% sense for Paul McCartney to be added to Smash Ultimate. A musical icon so legendary deserves to share some glory on the battlefield alongside other huge legends like Mario, Pac-Man, Sonic,
and Dark Pit.
Meanderman, 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 Meanderman.
Can you take me back where I came from? Can you take me back? Can you take me back where